Hello, and again, I'm Santiago Ramones. Across from me, wait, hold on, I just did that intro wrong. I've done 88 episodes, and I've never done my intro wrong.
You're really bad at this game.
Hello, and again, welcome to Bit Depth. I'm Santiago Ramones. Across from me is...
Hi, this is Takayoshi Yago.
also known as...
I don't know.
Okay.
Beats me.
We totally just had a conversation about this. Now you're not going to do that.
Oh,
Okay.
I guess I thought it didn't matter. Sure, keep going, I guess.
Okay. Taka,
What's
how do I know you? How do we know each other?
That's a good question. How do I know you again?
Through marching band.
Oh yeah, through
and,
marching band. Well,
school.
I really didn't have any classes with you though, because I joined marching band halfway through
I
sophomore
think
year.
so, yeah.
Because you guys needed a pianist, and the band director was like, "Hey, we need a pianist. Do you want to play piano?" I was like, "Sure, why not?"
Yeah.
And then I did percussion stuff because they needed percussion stuff. So
Yeah, because you're insane and you can just pick up an instrument in 2 seconds and learn how to use it
Okay, it
better
wasn't
than anyone else in
2
the freaking
seconds.
program.
it wasn't 2 seconds, but I also have decent work ethic, I guess,
Right.
compared to
Yes.
some other people.
It's that Asian training, I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. Way to start the stereotypes already.
Don't worry, I'll get to your stereotype soon, just to even it out.
So I usually start with, what do you do? Or rather, what do you want to do?
What do I do? Right now, I'm currently teaching at ESO OKC, which is a nonprofit organization, after school music program, to get, help kids become better citizens of society through music and stuff. And so, teaching music there. Taking a break in between schools right now. I recently graduated with a composition degree from Oklahoma City University.
Hey, that's what I'm trying to get a master's in.
And recently picked up some early music stuff like viol da gamba and harpsichord. So hopefully going to grad school for that.
That's awesome. So first of all, why did you choose... Let's start broad and then get more specific. Why did you choose music?
I didn't really choose music until my senior year. I actually didn't know what I was going to do. And so I kind of just didn't care about it. There's a lot of things I plan ahead, and then there's a lot of things I just, full on half-ass until the very last second. And music was one of those things. I just kind of did it. And then my band tech was like, hey, you should go to OCU for composition. I was like, it sounds like fun. Why not? So
Was it specifically composition that they suggested, or just like...
yeah, he was like, you should do composition. And I was like, all right.
Because that is very different from doing like performance or education.
Yeah, I have a lot of background in piano, but they were like, yeah, there's a lot of pianists there, so you should do something else. And I was like, well, I recently picked up percussion, so might as well audition on percussion.
Right.
God knows how I made it. But yeah, percussion was my main instrument for a while.
Mhm.
And then I switched it back to piano, and that was fine. So
When did you start playing piano?
started playing piano. That's a good question. In my single digit years, pretty sure. Like when I was 8. Although I had a really bad practice habit until about college. So
I mean, did you enjoy piano the entire time that you did it?
it was hard to, it's one of those things where your parents are like, hey, you should do this because, they're Asian parents and they want you to do everything. It's really ironic, though, because they're like, hey, you should really do some music. And they're like, hey, you should really go into the field of doctoring. And I'm like, hold on a second.
Yeah,
Like,
why
you
did you
can't tell me to
all
do
this
both.
music?
So, yeah, I did it. Sometimes it was like half grudgingly practicing because my mom was like, hey, you should practice. And I was like, no.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess joke's on them because they're like, oh, you should do music because it teaches you discipline. And it's like, now be a doctor. It's like, no, I got so good at music.
Right. Yeah, super ironic. My dad was like, wait, yeah, music isn't going to pay the bills. I was like, well, it's a little too late now. Like, you told me to do music. So, yeah, I hated practicing. Rep was I really liked the classical stuff, early classical stuff, and then Baroque stuff is good.
Intense.
It's pretty awesome. You really need a lot of skills for Baroque stuff. But yeah, one thing that helped me with piano stuff is playing a lot of video games.
Yeah.
I'm doing video game soundtracks on piano, just not even looking at the music, but doing it by ear.
Yeah.
So I have a pretty good ear. Awful at sight reading still, but if you play me something, I can play it back.
Right. And I mean, I think that's, like, in certain cases, that's almost a better skill to have, depending on what realm you're in. That, like, being able to listen to something and play it back has a lot of utility, whereas sight reading only has utility in
Classical
written
fields.
music.
Yeah, it's really being able to hear stuff and play it back. It's really good for like jazz stuff, but it's also really good for composing, which is what I do, what you do. And it's also good for the Baroque stuff when you play a lot of continuo and they just give you figured bass and they're like, all right, here you go. And you just kind of look at the bass line, you put some chords over it, play some fancy stuff. It's definitely fun.
We didn't give you the notes per se. We just gave you a note and then some note suggestions.
Right, yeah, exactly. Early music, continuo stuff is like glorified jazz improv with more rules.
It's just like, I don't know. I think like at some point it's just being abusive to your performer. Like, I think as a composer, I try not to write things that are like if I'm questioning myself and going, is this physically possible? Then I probably won't write it.
Yeah. I mean, when you write music, you definitely want it to be idiomatic. Like the goal of writing music is to make the person look flashy, but not make it as difficult per se. So if something is like super idiomatic and it still sounds and looks good, then you've accomplished your goal.
Yeah. So I guess going into more specifics, why music composition?
I'm not really sure. There was a lot of like playing video game music and stuff, and that got me really intrigued in like why things sound what way.
Right.
Especially Pokemon. Like battle music, city music, the surfing on water music. You know, it's all a different feel. And so you get like at a certain point you just become curious, like what makes it tick and stuff like that. A lot of anime music too. I played on piano. So at one point I think I just started writing notes and stuff. And so I just wanted to keep doing it, I guess.
So what did you first start out writing and composing?
I did a lot of piano, I think, because it was what I was the most comfortable with. I think the very first thing I ever wrote that wasn't piano was this dinky violin solo.
Dinky?
Dinky, yeah.
Or how was it dinky?
It was super short, super basic. Yeah, at the time I was like, it sounds good. There wasn't a lot of like musical interest.
Right. Well,
but
you gotta start somewhere.
It sounded good, I guess, kind of.
So then what do you want to do with composition? Because like, so there's this perception of like a composer is like this weird like virtuosic like genius that sits away in a room and like writes all the notes down, and that's very much not true.
I mean, it's half correct. Whenever I write music, I sit down for like 11, 12 hours
Yes,
at a time
yes.
in front of a computer and just stare at my screen. And then the other 30 minutes I'm putting down notes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's not entirely false. But what do I want to do with it? I'm not sure. I'm not much of a commercial music person, and I'm also not much of a contemporary music person. Like, I don't write music like John Cage or Bartok.
Right, right.
My pieces that I write are almost entirely tonal, but I do have some weird quirks,
Sure, sure.
I guess, with my harmonies. It's really fun to not cadence.
Yes.
Super nerdy thing to
to
do.
to the chagrin of like many people, just like, but wait, where is it?
Right. And they don't get it, and they're like, oh, I have to listen to more of this song. It doesn't cadence. But, I recently did some vocal pieces, which were really fun. They were both Edgar Allan Poe poems, text setting.
Cool.
Yeah.
So then you write pieces to be performed.
For the most part, yeah, that's what OCU really teaches you
Yeah.
to do with your compositions. They're like, and it's definitely good, like the ability to round up performers, and your ability to see if a performer is good or not. Gives you a lot of details on whether your piece works or not. And like, no matter how knowledgeable you are, unless you actually play the instrument to a very high level, you don't really know what's comfortable, what's not,
Exactly.
what's possible, what's not.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very strange considering the notion that we are writing parts for instruments that we have no idea how to play.
Right.
So I guess from a layman's point of view, how would you explain to them, like, why would you even write notes for an instrument that you don't know how to play?
You don't, because it's fun. I guess is the easiest way. I guess, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of just,
Or I guess how is more the question.
you just got to get to know not only the instrument but like the person, I guess. So when you write for an instrument that you don't know, you can't just write, So like if you don't know how to write for strings, you can't just be like, I'm going to write a string octet like Debussy. Like, wait, that doesn't actually work. You really have to, I think the best thing is writing like a solo thing, unaccompanied, or accompanied or unaccompanied, but really get to know the person.
Yeah.
And it helps you get to know
And
the
get
instrument
to know
too.
the instrument, yeah. Yeah, because then at some point, you're not being, like I said earlier, being just horribly cruel to the instrumentalist.
Right. Yeah, and then they will hate you and they'll never play your compositions again.
Exactly.
So build a good reputation.
That's actually a thing that I wrote about, like, Beethoven at some point, is like a way of justifying like why Pathetique sonatas weren't like incredibly difficult per se. And it's just like, he's kind of starting out, like maybe you shouldn't want to abuse your performers as you're trying to make a name for yourself. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if that's justified, but that's the claim that I made. So then what made you dive into old instruments, early instruments?
I've always had a fascination for the Bach stuff and the harpsichord stuff. There's a lot of counterpoint, and I really, really like counterpoint. Just like the ability to control all four voices with your hand is just like so much power. And it's fun. You can do a lot of things. I mean, it takes a lot of dedication to bring out things, like especially in a fugue. You have your, 4, 5 voice fugues, and they're like, yeah, bring out this melody in the thumb right quick. And it's like, yeah, sure, I'll work on that.
Right.
And so you spend like 7 hours each day bringing out your thumb, which is something you don't do because you want your right hand pinky notes to be louder when you play chord stuff. You always want the top to speak out. But when you play counterpoint stuff, it's very different. But I was always very interested in that kind of stuff, especially because I have OCD. So I want, like, here's the theme or the subject. And it's like, okay, I really want this to sound like the subject. So you just work on, like, hammering it out elegantly, I guess. But
Real quick, for just explaining terminology purposes, what is counterpoint?
counterpoint is two independent lines.
Okay.
So
That's a great way to just
yeah,
simplify
it's
that.
like the easiest way to explain it. You just have two lines of music and they're independent.
And then there's a lot of rules. So many rules.
Lots of rules for a counterpoint. But yeah, going into the early music thing, we recently got a really nice harpsichord, and we recently got a really good early music teacher who, like, really knows his shit. And so he started the ensemble, and yeah, I've been doing it since then.
Yeah. So, like I told you before, I really hate the harpsichord. Why
That's
do you like
okay.
the harpsichord?
It's really technical. With piano, you can hide your mistakes with pedal, but like you can't do that with the harpsichord. You have to hit all your right notes, and
Right.
you have to be really careful about how you hit the keys. It's really common to splice keys on harpsichord just because it's a lot lighter, and so you'll end up hitting like two notes with one finger.
Sure.
And so, just play it off as a grace note and move on with your life. But I don't know why I like the harpsichord. It's definitely I think it's more fun to play than the piano, personally.
But challenging.
Challenging in different ways, yeah.
Right. And then, most of the reason as to why I don't like the harpsichord is the sound quality of it. It's just
Definitely an interesting sound.
But mostly a lot of Baroque music is written for harpsichord, and so nowadays Baroque music is seen as I don't know, pretentious or abrasive or something.
Yeah, I think there's a really big misconception on that. Like, people are always like, play steady rhythms, play perfectly in time. But, like, there is nowhere in any of the treatises that say anything like that. So, it's hard to say, but I don't think it needs to be super, I'm doing hand gestures because I don't know what to say, but you guys can't see hand gestures. It doesn't have to be super rigid, I guess.
Right. But I guess just too many notes going on, and just yeah, I think that's just the general perception. Just why are there so many notes?
Yeah,
notes.
There's definitely notes. I mean, because when you write for a piano and bam, you have a pedal. So you just, if you want a giant chord and play some stuff, you just play a chord, play the pedal, and bam, you're good for a solid, 20 seconds?
Right.
But, the harpsichord, even if you hold the note down, there's not a lot of sustain. It's just not a very loud instrument. So you really have to make do with scales and lots of movement because that's the only way to keep the sound going.
Yeah. Which, it definitely shows the skill in the composers as well in being able to put a whole bunch of notes in a thing and all of them be correct, per se.
Yeah. Something like that.
A lot of times it's just I'll just put that there. Let me just put so many notes there. It's fine.
Probably.
And then you get fugues, which means let me just do the same thing, but then do it again.
Right, in a different voice, in a different key, backwards, upside down.
Right.
Yeah.
So what has been the importance of music throughout your life? How has it sort of guided your life?
Music really teaches you, like, the most important thing that it teaches you is like interaction, I guess. Because like I personally despise solo music. Like I will never be a solo performer. That's my goal anyway. I never want to do any of that. But it's so satisfying when you get to sit down with even one or two people, play some ensemble music, and then you talk through what can be fixed, what sounds good. So
Hence piano, that good old
yeah,
solo instrument.
right. But you know, music really teaches you, you know, human interaction, I guess.
Definitely.
And it's definitely more fun because like you can go around you can walk around and attempt to interact with people all you want, but it's very difficult to interact with people you don't know on an intellectual level without knowing like who they are and what they enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get to that point after like a couple hours of conversation, but with music, you know, you meet someone for the first time and say, "Hey, how are you doing? Let's sit down and play some music," and it's like immediate connection.
Yeah. To be cliche about it, but music really is a universal language that people from all different countries and different backgrounds can come together and put some music in front of their faces, and they all start speaking the same language, per se.
Yeah. I mean, cliches are cliches because they work and are true, right?
Right.
It's kind of like food. Everyone needs food.
Yeah. So to transition a little bit, as I always can never really make a good bridge towards this part of the podcast.
It's because you're really bad at this game.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. Only episode 88 plus some bonus ones, and I still haven't figured out how to do this transition. What is the role of spirituality or religion in your life?
You know, I don't really pay much attention to religion, spirituality. It's like a lot of it is man-made construct. So it's really, I'm not sure hypocritical is the right word, but like, you know, you get up and I guess if you go to church, there's some person being like, okay, do this because, you know, this person said so. It's like, you know, it's kind of hard to believe. I mean,
Sure.
some people just do it. They're like, yeah, that totally makes sense. And all the more power to them.
Right.
But more than religion governing your life, I think it should be the other way around. Your life should govern what religion you choose.
Yes. I agree with that.
You know, I'm not really sure what religion I am. You know, my parents are Buddhist. I think we all are in Japan, mostly. And so we moved.
Buddhist and like Shinto, I guess.
Yeah. I think my family has some roots in that, actually. I think we have some, like, long, distant family that lives up in the mountains that do priestly stuff. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, there's probably some super extraterrestrial superpower being out there that is like, all right, I'm going to move this person here and they're going to do this today. You know, the world is too big for there not to be a life form lesser than humans and also greater than humans. So, you know.
Is that your long-winded way of saying you kind of believe in God?
Yeah, there's something out there. I mean, there can't just be nothing out there is what I believe. Okay.
That's fair.
Whether that be the Christian God or the flying spaghetti monster, like, who knows? But it definitely feels like there's, like, something out there.
What makes you say that?
Everything has a hierarchy, and I think humans are too stupid to be standing at the top.
I do agree that humans are pretty stupid and we may not be at the top. But where does that hierarchy come in, I guess?
What do you mean?
Like, is it necessary?
Like,
Saying, oh, these things are like superior to other things?
I don't think so. I don't think anything. I don't think anything you can't like thoroughly conceptually grasp is necessary. So like, I don't think it's important whether or not there's a god out there, or like I don't think it's important whether or not there are aliens out there. Like that's
Right.
not our job. Like curiosity is great, but it's not. And I guess people that want to figure it out,
Yes.
that's fine with them. But I don't think it's everyone's job to be aware that there is a possibility
Yes.
that there are things out there. That's like me saying there's a possibility that I could be eating a banana tomorrow, but like that's not important to me, right?
Right,
Like if
right.
I eat a banana tomorrow, then I eat a banana tomorrow.
Sure.
So
Yeah. So then how does that guide morality?
do you know? I guess morality just comes from like what you believe. I guess like my morality doesn't stem from like religion per se. My morality stems from what I just feel is correct or incorrect. Like I don't know. There's not a very good way to explain it without applying religion to it.
Sure.
But like, you can't just do something because some random book tells you to. I guess like this is good because this book tells you to. But like, if you don't truly believe it, then
Right.
is it truly you who's doing it? That kind of thing.
But then, so what helps you to decide what you think is good or what you think is bad?
Always do the ground rule of treat others how you want to be treated. That's what they teach you in elementary school.
Right.
And, they teach you that in elementary school for a good reason.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to go about things. I mean, karma is definitely a bitch, so it'll hit you eventually. Like, whether you believe in it or not, it'll hit you eventually. So,
do you really believe in karma? Like,
I'm sure there's something out there.
cool.
And if there's not, there's not.
Right.
Like,
I'm definitely appreciating the non-committal, like, I don't know. Like, it's definitely wise to be like, I have no idea.
it's so hard, though, to be like, yeah, there's definitely something out there. I'm absolutely sure. I mean, it's great if you have faith, but, faith almost teaches you blindness. It's like you grow up thinking one thing and then someone challenges that thought and you just blatantly just disregard it.
Right.
But like you don't ever try looking into it. So like I'm all for the parents that teach their children religion and abide by these rules. But like, I don't know. I feel like it's 2017 and keeping an open mind is good.
Sure. Is the year relevant to that in some way?
No, but it's the trendy thing to say. It's this year. I mean, I guess you can say like it's 2049.
Right.
But I mean,
Which I hear that's a good movie. Blade Runner 2049.
But like, it's the future. We have technology.
Right.
Just believe what you want and, just treat people nicely.
Yeah. What makes certain behavior nicer than other behavior. What do you define as nice behavior?
You know, if someone needs help, just help them, I guess. If they don't need help, don't help them. Don't pretend like you're their savior or like you know better than they do, because like 99.99% of the time you don't know better than they do. So if they need help, they'll go to you, and if they don't want help from you, then just don't help them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, what if you really think they need help though?
You know, I don't think it's your decision to make. Like if they don't come to you, then it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like sometimes you have these groups of friends that like do this intervention thing, and I think that's great. But like, you know, at that point they're probably calling for like something in their action is telling you they need this. You know, like there's probably something seeping out of their subconscious that's telling everyone that they're like, yeah, this guy really needs it.
Well, maybe the amount that they're hurting themselves,
Yeah,
or the people around them,
probably. But you know, most of the time when that happens, like they tell you what's going on,
Sure,
and they ask for opinions and stuff. But like if someone like just doesn't want to tell you anything and like doesn't want your opinions, then you know, that's their call to make. So
I guess in that sense you are morally in the clear in that
yeah,
regard.
like I don't think you should feel morally obligated to pry into someone's business, because that's like totally an oxymoron. Like morally obligated to pry into someone's business doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
If you're a good friend, they'll eventually come to you.
Sure.
Like if they need help.
Yeah. In what ways could people in the world be better people? As in, what are we seeing in the world now that's so shitty and you think people should do instead?
You know, a lot of conflict stems from religion. Like my religion is better than your religion, but like I mean, like does that really matter? Like it's not 800 BC,
Right.
you know? And I'm pretty sure cavemen didn't really care about that kind of stuff either. But like my beliefs are better than your beliefs doesn't really make sense if you think about it. Just like that's like saying my imaginary friend could beat up your imaginary friend. Like that's cool, but like why does it matter?
Yes.
You know?
It's like, I guess, the importance of something affecting the real world around us.
Right.
What is it that you think society should focus more on rather than more on, not moron?
You know, I think there's a lot of this misconception of helping other people. I think what society needs to focus on right now is just helping yourself first. Mm-hmm. Like before you help anyone else, you have to help yourself first.
Yes.
Because like no one wants help from someone who's like suffering greatly from depression or something. Like you can hide it all you want, but like, you know, in the end, you're just distracting yourself from something you need to change about yourself. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of, I think, just needing to fix your own thing before you go off and try to save other people.
Sure.
Because like you have friends and you like try to help them all, but if you don't help yourself, it's like doing a disservice to your friends because they see you suffering. Mm-hmm. And like you glorify yourself and your feelings if you help other people, but like that's one person's feelings you're glorifying versus a numerous amount of friends that are seeing you still struggling because you're not helping yourself.
Yeah.
So it's really a selfish thing to be putting like other people's things before yourself, which is kind of
Interesting.
backwards, but that's been like my concept my whole life.
Interesting.
Is that if you put others first, you're not thinking about yourself. And by not thinking about yourself, you're not thinking about your friends that are thinking about you.
Whoa. That's some meta level thinking there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely see that.
Yeah.
So in what ways do we see that effect in the real world?
You know, I'm not a really big fan of like politics and stuff, but I guess like America right now, we're in this lots of debt, and we're out there trying to save or help, I guess, third world countries. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I think there's a lot of like things we need to get under check here before we go off and
Sure.
do stuff. I mean, but once again, I'm not a politics person, and
That's fine.
who knows at this point. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of stuff to be working on, like internally.
Yes. Inside towards outside.
Right.
And then definitely, like you're saying, if an individual or if an entity gets its stuff together, then they can help others a lot better.
Yeah.
How has this sort of worldview affected the way that you interact with others in music?
You know, I'm a pianist and I do a lot of accompanying. And so, you know, first of all, just learn all your notes. Always learn your notes before rehearsal, not during rehearsal.
Right.
A lot of times I see a lot of pianists that are like, I'm going to play all the right notes. And that just, you know, it just doesn't matter. You can play all the right notes in the world, but if you're not following the accompanist, like, you're not going to be better than someone beatboxing the accompanying part, following the soloist.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you can play all the right notes, but you're not the soloist.
Yeah.
You know?
And
You're not doing it for you. And I think there's just too many people that accompany that do that. They're like, I play the piano and it's going to be about me. But it's not. So, you know, you miss notes. You know, take out some notes. Whatever. It's not, you know, you play musically and you gotta play, you know, the minimum and what you're getting paid for. But like, it's not about you. It's about the soloist, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's a really important thing.
And then I guess what's the importance of interacting with other people, both within music and outside of music?
Well, interacting with people in music gives you just different ideas, different perspectives. And since music is no right or wrong answer, I mean, different perspectives is always good. You know, it might change your opinion, might change your way how you play slurs. It might not change how you play slurs, but it's never a bad thing to get other people's perspectives, other people's opinions, because it can only make yours better.
Right.
You know? Yeah. As for outside of music, you know, I really don't interact with people outside of music. So it's kind of hard to say. What about you? Do you interact with people outside of music?
I do, and I mean, hey, I'm the one asking the questions here, but but I do. I generally interact with people through this podcast, and that's through respecting everyone's opinion and respecting what everyone has to say. And just because I'm here and I have my own opinions doesn't change the fact that the purpose of this thing is to have other people's perspectives.
Right. I don't think, no one person's opinion is ever going to be better or worse than someone else's. Like, opinion is a subjective thing, and nothing subjective can be better than another subjective thing.
Right.
So I think, just if they have something to say, listen to it. If you agree with it, you can agree with it. If you disagree with it, you don't have to fight them on it. I mean, unless it's like, just like a friendly debate or something.
Sure.
That's totally fine. Like, that's a really intellectual way of getting to know someone is a friendly debate on. I guess, for example, does a higher entity exist or not? Like, we could friendly, debate about it, but like, we're not clawing at each other's throats.
Yeah, exactly. Or even a debate about whether or not robots are going to take over the world, like we had earlier.
Yeah, true.
What's the importance of communication in regards to music and then outside?
Communication is very important in music. So, like, if someone is like, I'm going to slow down here, you can't just be like, I'm not going to slow down here, because then it's just a train wreck. But communication is definitely more than words. Communication is a lot more action. And I think that's a really good transition to the real world, is that communication is a lot more than just words.
Yes.
Like, people always say actions speak louder than words, and they're like, yeah, sure, but I mean, it's true.
Yes.
You can say you're going to do something, but if you don't, it's just like, well, you didn't do it.
Yes.
And
said every politician ever.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, like, communication is very important, and it's definitely just a lot of, like, it's more physical than people think it is.
Physical in what way?
Words are these abstract things. I'm making sounds with my mouth and my vocal cords, I guess, and you're interpreting them a certain way. But, like, an action is an action the same, in every language. Like, if I punch someone in the face, I'm punching someone in the face.
In any language.
Right, in any language. Right. So, like, and some cultural things too. Like, if I bow to say I'm sorry, then I'm bowing to say I'm sorry, But it's like, it's a good application parallel to music, right? Because music is very universal, and actions are also very universal. So, yeah, that's what I think when I think communication, Like, you can say all the things you want, but if you don't, like, you have to do them.
Yes.
Too.
And then what's the importance of speech and the freedom of which?
That's a really, like, hard thing to talk about. I don't really think about, free speech or anything like that. I don't really protest.
Right.
So,
but I also, like, say so with the context of the importance of communication.
Like, how?
I mean, like, if it's important to be able to, if it's important to communicate with one another, then it's also important to be able to communicate.
Yeah. I think, America has a really good thing about that, I think. It's kind of hard to set up a free speech thing, but I think it's pretty good. Not a lot of countries have that kind of thing, where you
Sure.
can peacefully protest and it be legal. Some places they just gas you and you die. And it's like, well, that was good. That was a good use of my 20 years of my life. But I think it's pretty good. And yeah, when you're governing, a society, I think it's important that you hear what the people are saying.
Fair. But then also interpersonally, letting someone talk and hearing the other person talk.
Right. Yeah. Take your turn. You're never going to know, what the other person is thinking and totally say it. And they're never going to be thinking exactly the same way as you are. So
Right.
it can only make you a better person if you listen to other people, even if that person is a kid and they have significantly less life experience than you do. Like, there is nothing lost by, hearing someone else's opinion.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Last question. What advice do you have for people?
What advice do I have for people? Prioritize the things you can make happen, and don't worry too much about things that you're unsure about. So like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. If it's something you're building towards, I guess. And for things like religion, or things like, what do other people think about me? Like, you can't control that. Like, that's their opinion, or like, that's things that you can't. Religion isn't something you can physically, make happen, I guess, at least not right now. So don't spend your entire life stressing over things that you cannot physically change or, build towards. Like, if you want to go on a diet, then go on a diet. That's great. You'll see physical changes,
Yes.
if you do it properly. But like, things like, oh man, I want everyone to like me, is just like, your friends like you for a reason. So if people don't like you, that's great. People don't like you. Like, there's a lot of people that don't like me, but it's fine, because I have my opinions and my friends like me for who I am.
Right.
So, don't change yourself just for that kind of stupid thing.
Yeah.
And, deal with the worldly matters.
Yeah.
I guess.
I definitely agree with that. Taka,
What's up?
thank you for doing this with me.
Yep. No problem.
Where can we find you and your things, I guess, if you want to plug the things?
What?
Plug where can we find your music or the things that you do?
I have one thing I created completely electronically on SoundCloud. But I have a couple of arrangement stuff on YouTube. But, I'll give you the link and you can put it on
Okay. I will do
podcast
that.
or something. But
Yeah.
I'm generally around, I think.
That is the broadest way you can put that.
Yeah.
I generally exist somewhere in the universe somehow.
Yeah. And that's what all people are, just general existences.
Thanks. Making
No
it really
problem.
easy for us to find you and support you.
Yep.
Well, if people decide to take the effort to support you, I hope they really enjoy what you do and what you're making, and I hope that you continue to make more good stuff.
Sounds good.
I'm Santiago Ramones.
Hi, this was Takayoshi Yago.
You can find all the things that I do on my website, santiagoramones.com. I make music. I have this podcast. I also do some cosplay. There's links to all of that on my website.
Ooh, cosplay.
You can download a song that I made. It's based off of a game called Transistor. It's called Red. And you can download that or pay for it. You can pay $0. You could pay $1,200. You can pay
Nowhere
however
in
much
the middle,
you
right?
want. Yeah, just go somewhere right in between there. It's fine. And really, it's up to you to say however much you value that. But really, I just appreciate it that you're listening. You can always contact me through my website as well. You can leave reviews on the Apple Podcasts thing or iTunes or wherever it is that you listen to stuff. And just let me know what you think about this podcast, because I have no idea. People listen to this apparently, and I still don't know who it is. But yeah, regardless of that, thank you for listening. I always end every podcast with my 3 things. Those 3 things shape my life philosophy. They are: love never fails, it's going to be okay, I might be wrong,